Good morning, teachers and my dear friends. We, the Arjivishvas team from the Amateurs News World, will present to you a documentary on the challenges faced by the world in the year 2020.
Australia faced a devastating start to its fire season in the late 2019, and things swiftly got worse before rains helped contain many of the worst fires in February 2020. Dozens of fires erupted in New South Wales, Australia, prompting the government to declare a state of emergency in November 2019. Fires rapidly spread across all states to become some of the most devastating on record, an area about the size of South Korea. Roughly 25.5 million acres has burned. At least 33 people are dead. Thousands of people who were forced to evacuate sought shelter on beaches across New South Wales. The smoke became another disaster. On January 1st, Australia's capital recorded the worst pollution it's ever seen, with an air quality index 23 times higher than what's considered hazardous. More than 1 billion mammals, birds and reptiles likely lost their lives in the blazes. Australia relies heavily on volunteer firefighters. The United States and Canada have sent firefighters to battle the blazes. The most destructive fires are usually preceded by extreme high temperatures and strong winds, which combine to create ideal conditions for the rapid spread of fire. Australia is one of the most fire-prone regions of the world, and its predominant forests have evolved to thrive on the phenomenon of bushfire. However, the fires can cause significant property damage and loss of both animal and human life. Gradual drying of the Australian continent over the last 15 million years has produced an ecology and environment prone to fire, which has resulted in many specialized adaptations amongst flora and fauna. Fire and forest management has evolved again through the 20th and 21st century with the spread of national parks and nature reserves, while human-caused global warming is predicted to continue increasing the frequency of blazes.
At the starting of the year, tensions between Iran and US arose. On January 3rd, General Soleimani was killed by drone attacks at the Baghdad International Airport initiated by the US government. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said the US made a grave mistake by assassinating the top general. This posed many World War III threats around the world. Trump, soon after the death of the general, said that he had authorized the killing as they had evidence Soleimani was plotting attacks on the US. On January 8th, Iran launched ballistic missiles at US military bases in Iran and Iraq. Many people had thought war had been declared. US President Trump made a statement about the attack in a press conference that claimed that no American soldier had been hurt. The two countries ever since have been in a silence truce. If these attacks had to go any further, many millions of people would have died and the world would have been in great danger.
In December 2019, the Chinese authority notified the world that a virus was spreading through the communities. In following months, it spread to other countries with cases doubling within days. This virus is the severe acute respiratory syndrome-related coronavirus 2 that causes the disease COVID-19 and commonly known as the coronavirus. This has become a global pandemic situation and has sent medical expertise racing to uncover its secrets. There are four main generations of coronavirus, each distinguished by its virus structures: alpha, beta, delta, and gamma. Alpha and beta coronavirus infects humans and other mammals, while delta and gamma ones mostly affect birds. COVID-19 spreads in two main ways: directly from person to person, or when an infected individual coughs or sneezes close to someone, or indirectly when a healthy person touches an infected surface and then touches their eyes, nose, or mouth. Like its cousins, SARS and MERS, COVID-19 is a viral respiratory illness, meaning it affects the parts of our body that you use to breathe. In essence, the virus hijacks our healthy cells and turns them into minions in order to replicate more virus. There are no proven vaccines for COVID-19, but a number are being considered. COVID-19 can cause severe phenomena that can make it difficult to breathe. As a result, many hospitalized patients require supplemental oxygen delivered by nasal progons in the nose or by a face mask. in most extreme cases, when your lungs are so injured that you're unable to breathe on your own, hospital staffs will turn to ventilators. But by the usage of many ventilators and face masks, hospital cannot supply more ventilator and face masks, which is causing more death of people. COVID-19 is an unpredictable future now. Will the virus fade away and disappear on its own like coronavirus that caused SARS? Will it die down only to come back seasonally like the flu? Or will researchers be able to develop a vaccine quickly enough to eradicate it or lessen its impact? There are still many questions that have yet to be answered, even though researchers have discovered a lot about the new coronavirus. For now, it remains a mystery.
Economic crisis of the world due to COVID-19. The world is currently going with a huge economic loss during this situation and the markets are all bleeding. Oil crisis. The oil price per barrel, which used to be $75 a year before, is now reduced to only about $25. Oil, being one of the most important commodities, faced severe crisis. Usage of oil and gas is extremely low due to travel restrictions, so most of the oil companies are running at a huge loss. This has a severe impact on the countries that are heavily dependent on oil production. In Malaysia, a cup of tea is more expensive than a liter of petrol. Production losses. This empty car here might look irrelevant, but it actually has a meaning. Luxury cars are not getting sold. The automobile companies, along with their sub-suppliers, are going through a great turmoil. Supply chain disruption. COVID has led to disruption in the supply chain. For instance, once oil is produced, it is packed in barrels and is exported to other places to gain profit out of it. But due to international travel restrictions, exports are not at all happening. This is not limited only to oil companies. All products manufactured across the world are failing to get shipped due to supply chain disruption. Stock market crash. The stock markets have crashed due to COVID. Many people invested in stock markets as they normally give better returns in comparison to banks. However, the stock market crisis has left many people's pockets empty. For instance, on a single day, the Sensex in India crashed around 4,000 points, which the history has never seen. Sports events cancellation. Many major sports events have been cancelled across the world, leading to losses worth several billions. For instance, India's major sporting event, IPL 2020, has not happened till date, leading to huge loss for cricketers, the sponsors, along with the respective cricket boards. EPL, which is England's major sporting event, has also been cancelled, which has led to huge loss. The biggest tennis event, the Wimbledon, has been cancelled for the first time since World War II. All these cancellations are leading to losses worth several billions. Entertainment venues closure. Most of the entertainment venues like malls, cinema theaters, theme parks have all been shut down, leading to huge economic loss. People working in these sectors are facing layoffs as the companies are incurring loss worth billions. In summary, COVID-19 has led to unemployment, huge loss in investments, bleeding markets, and economic turmoil across the world.
The cyclone Amphan, which occurred on May 16, affected many villages in the coast of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, West Bengal, Odisha, Puducherry, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. Amphan made landfall on Wednesday, lashing coastal areas with ferocious wind and rain. Out of all the people who died, most of the people died of falling trees and debris. Among those killed in Barisal was a 57-year-old Red Crescent volunteer who drowned when attempting to help others to safety. It had an adverse effect on the villages near the coastline and had resulted in a major loss of homes and shelters. The rehab cost the government an estimated amount of about 1,500 crores. Evacuation across the regions have been complicated by the coronavirus pandemic as authorities attempt to maintain strict social distancing rules. In In Bangladesh, Disaster Management Junior Minister Enamur Rahman said that they are planning to move about 2 million people from coastal areas to more than 12,000 cyclone shelters. Even after the forest fire in Australia, killing several animals, and World War III threats posed by Donald Trump's decision to bomb Iran and Iran's decision to retaliate and bombing USA, and the economic crisis due to the drop in prices of oil and decline of sale and production of vehicles due to travel restrictions caused by the SARS-CoV-19 or the SARS-CoV-2, which has infected more than half the world till date and killed several people. Moreover, the cyclone Amphan caused further deaths and huge economic losses due to compensation amounts. But the world still stands with unity by the Arjivishvas team.